Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has noted that the government edged forward in promoting sustainable development by creating IMAC digital application to enable citizens monitor and evaluate capital projects in real time. The president, who launched the digital application platform before yesterday's Federal Executive Council meeting, said the innovation would help forestall the practice of abandoning projects.
The IMAC application offers us an opportunity to sensitize and advertise to the world the goals and magnitude of infrastructure projects being carried out by this administration. This should be done by working closely with the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, through the National Monitoring and the Evaluation Department to continually build upon current efforts. On their part, the contractors should similarly utilize the platform as a means to keep citizens abreast of your good works, updating them regularly as projects progress or unforeseen circumstances arise.
Correspondent Raliat Adeneka reports that the president charged MDAs and the state governments to extend the effort across all tiers of government to promote a more robust and contextual database of projects. In his remarks, the Minister of State, Budget and National Planning, Prince Clement Agba, said the digital application will be extended to state and development partners for free.
The IMAC application, no doubt, gives us the ability to analyze the public opinion of a project, ministry, department, and agencies and contractors. Be it positive, neutral, or negative, each stakeholder will be in touch with the sentiments of the citizenry and complying with this in mind. Your Excellencies and distinguished cabinet colleagues, the IMAC application provides us with the opportunity to express to Nigerians and the world at large the projects and initiatives we work so hard to make a reality every day. It gives us a chance to educate the population on the reasons behind every project and our theory of change, which
the federal government has regretted that the promise to provide train services to the Eastern Corridor before the end of the current administration is no longer feasible due to lack of funds. Former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi had, before he resigned to contest for the presidential ticket of the APC, promised that the government would at least provide narrow gauge to the Eastern Corridor before May 29, 2023. However, his successor, Minister Muazu Chaji Sambo, while fielding questions on Wednesday, explained that the federal government has not been able to obtain the foreign counterpart funding embedded in the project, making it impossible to fund it as envisaged.
The Eastern Line is a line that runs from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. It has been segmented in such a way that the first part of the works is covering from Port Harcourt to Enugu. Now, the truth of the matter is that if there was a promise to deliver this line before the end of this administration, this promise is not feasible, because when the contract was approved, it was approved on the premise that 85% will be funded through foreign loan, while 15% will be the counterpart funding from the national budget. Since that approval, we have not been able to obtain the 85% foreign loan for this project. We have been funding it through the national budget on the basis of the 15% counterpart contribution by the federal government. And therefore, funding has been a major challenge for this project.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Police Affairs, Maigari Dingyadi, also revealed that the FEC on Wednesday approved 13.32 billion naira for life assurance packages for 318,319 personnel of the Nigeria Police Force from October 26, 2022 to October 26, 2023.
In favor of Mrs. Lido Assurance PLC as the lead underwriter and 3 others as co-underwriters in the total sum of 13,321,742,038 naira 83 kobo. The essence of this memo is to encourage our officers and men who have been working day and night to ensure the security of lives and property in this country, to appreciate the hard work they are doing, and to endeavor to do more in appreciation of what government is doing for them.
President Buhari has submitted a 2022 supplementary budget proposal to both the Senate and House of Representatives for passage, which seeks to cushion the effects of the recent floodings which has affected farmlands and resulted in insecurity amongst others. Speaker of the House, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, who read the letter during plenary, said the president noted that the recent floodings has affected major roads, bridges and critical infrastructures, which led to his approval of a supplementary budget of 819.5 billion naira for capital expenditure.
The President writes that the year 2022 has witnessed the worst flood incidents in recent history, which has caused massive destruction of farmlands at a point already close to harvest season. Flood also devastated the road infrastructure across the 36 states and FCT that affected several sections of major roads and bridges. I have therefore approved a supplementary 2022 appropriation of 819,536,937.813, all of which are capital expenditure.
Correspondent Nathan Williams reports that the letter further notes that the supplementary budget will be financed through additional domestic borrowing, which will raise the budget deficit for 2022 to 8.17 trillion naira and deficit GDP ratio to 4.43%. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has told the House of Reps that the governor of the Apex Bank, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, will not appear before the House on Thursday as he is ill. In a letter addressed to the House and read by Femi Gbajabiamila, Emefiele will be represented by the Deputy Governor, Financial System Stability, CBN, Aisha Ahmed.
And his letter, which was just received by the clerk, says, we refer to your letter of December 20, 2022 on the above subject, inviting the governor of the central bank to appear in person before the House on Thursday, December 22nd. Regrettably, the governor is out of the country on official engagement as well as attending to some health challenges. He is therefore unavailable to attend the briefing. Given the urgency associated with the briefing, the Committee of Governors, led by Mrs. Aisha Ahmed, Deputy Governor, Financial Systems Stability, is prepared to brief the House. Please accept once again the Governor's highest consideration and very warm regard.
In the meantime, the CBN has announced an upward review of cash withdrawal limits to 500,000 naira and 5 million naira for individuals and corporate accounts, respectively. The Apex Bank, which said this new directive supersede that of December 6 and take effect nationwide from January 9, 2023, also reviewed downward the stipulated percentage cost for withdrawals above the stipulated limits. This is according to a statement by CBN's Director, Banking Supervision, Aruna Mustafa, who also said that in compelling circumstances where cash withdrawals above the limits is required, they shall be subject to a processing fee of 3% and 5% for individuals and corporate organizations, respectively. Mustafa said in spite of the new review, customers should still be encouraged to use alternative channels like internet banking, mobile banking apps, USSD, POS and eNaira to conduct banking transactions. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has suffered another attack in Imo as hoodlums vandalized its Isu local government area office of the state. Festus Okoye, INEC National Commissioner and Chairman, Vote Information and Voter Education Committee, said on Wednesday that the attack was the fourth in the state after that of Olu and Oru West local government area, as well as the state headquarters in Owerri. He said that the state INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner, Professor Sylvia Agu, reported the attack in the early hours of Tuesday, adding that 8 windows were smashed and burglary proofs removed. A Federal Capital Territory High Court has ordered the interim forfeiture of $899,900 and over 304 million naira recovered from a former Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC. The court also forfeited 15 properties recovered from Idris in Kano and Abuja. Idris and others are being prosecuted by the EFCC on 14 counts of stealing and money laundering to the tune of 109 billion naira. Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has described the completion of the infrastructure for the first phase of the Blue Line Rail as a strong testimony of his administration's commitment to building on the legacies of past administrations and the pioneering vision of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Speaking yesterday at the inspection of the completion of the Blue Line Rail from Marina to Mile 2, covering 13 kilometers square, Sanwo-Olu stressed that the project is due for test running and will be commissioned next year before commercial operations begin.
The rail crossing is a no-no for everyone. The tracks are not an option for anyone to cross. On the issue of vandalism, you will know that you'll be at great risk if something that is powered by electricity, you want to attempt to touch anything there.
The Anambra State Governor, Chukwuma Soludo, has announced the increment in the remunerations of the state public workforce by 10% effective January 2023. The governor made the declaration during the 2022 Public Service Day at the Jerome Udoji State Secretariat Complex, Oka, and also announced 15,000 Naira Christmas bonus across board to enable the workers to buy some foodstuff for their families. In the 5 areas of deliverables of the Soludo administration, he maintained that the state will never be run by criminals as he is flushing them out and dismantling their operations, including the sit-at-home order that cripples public service and the state economy. You're still listening to the World News. Moving on to the foreign scene, the Gambia's government says it has thwarted an attempt to stage a coup. A statement said 4 soldiers had been arrested and 3 alleged accomplices were on the run. It is unclear who exactly was behind Tuesday's attempt to overthrow President Adama Barrow, who won a second term in elections last year. The government statement, however, said that military reservists had been put on standby. Vladimir Putin believes Russia is not to blame for the war in Ukraine, adding both countries are sharing a tragedy. During a televised address with senior military officials, the Russian president said he continued to see Ukraine as a brotherly nation. He claimed that the conflict was the result of the policy of third countries and not down to Russian policy. The theory, which implies Western expansion is the cause, has been repeatedly dismissed outside Russia. President Putin claimed the West had brainwashed post-Soviet republics, starting with Ukraine. And out to business news, the Nigerian Exchange Limited on Wednesday gained 32 billion naira or 0.12% as market capitalization closed at 26.947 trillion naira. Also, the all-share index gained 59.25 points or 0.12% to close at 49,475.43. Market breadth closed positive as 21 stocks were on the leaders table, while 11 were on the laggards log. And finally, to sport news, Nigeria's Tobi Amusan has been named Africa's best female athlete for the year 2022. The latest honor was conferred on Amusan by the Confederation of African Athletics, CAA. Amusan was the winner at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, where she set a record, and also the World Championships in Oregon, where she set a new world record of 12.12 seconds in the hurdles event. She also won the Diamond League trophy for the second successive season. Kenya's Faith Kipyegon and Ethiopia's Letsesenbet Gide, who were both world champions in the 1,500 meters and 1,000 meters, were ranked second and third respectively behind Amusan. Brazil great Pele's cancer has advanced, according to the hospital where the 82-year-old is being treated. The three-time World Cup winner has been in hospital for just over 3 weeks. The hospital said Pele presents cancer disease progression and requires greater care related to renal and cardiac dysfunctions. Pele had a tumor removed from his colon in September 2021 and has since had regular treatment. Pele is his country's all-time leading scorer with 77 goals in 92 games and helped his country Brazil win the World Cup in 1958, 1962 and 1970.
Lagos Talks
91.3.
News.